City Highliner activities. That should bring you to the Valley City YouTube page, and that's where the duels tonight are on live. So again, Google Valley City Highliner activities, and that should bring you to the YouTube site, which has the live stream of tonight's duels. serve. Three, near fall, serve. Three, near fall, serve. Two, takedown Ray. Winner by fall, Brody Ray. Now 113 pounds for the Rough Riders, Grant Sorrell. And for the Highlanders, Carson Flippo. Two, takedown Claymore. Two, reversal Sorrell. After one period, the score is tied 2-2. Two, takedown Claymore. winner by fall, Colton Griebel. At 126 pounds for the Rough Riders, Miles Larson. And for the Highlanders, Cruz Ackerman. Takedown Ackerman. Winner by fall, Cruz Ackerman. At 132 pounds, for the Highlanders, Tucker Johnson. And for the Rough Riders, Cypher, Traveler Walter. Two takedown Johnson. One escape, Traveler Walter. Two takedown Johnson. Winner by fall, Tucker Johnson. At 138 pounds for the Rough Riders, Tanner Swanson. And for the Highlanders, Hunter Oldham. Two takedown Swanson. 3, near fall, Swanson. 2, reversal, Swanson. One escape, under. After 2 periods, Swanson leads 10-1. Two takedown, Swanson. Two takedown Regal. Winner by fall for Regal. Two takedown Robinson. Two near fall Robinson. Winner by fall, Alex Robinson. At 160 pounds for the Highlanders, Espen Coonsey. And for the Rough Riders, Max Mertens. Two takedown Martins. For the Highlanders, Tyson Hovland. For the Highlanders, Sheyenne. Takedown, Hovland. After one, Hovland leads 2-0. One escape, Paleo. Two takedown, Hovland. Winner by fall, Tyson Hovland. The Highlanders win the duel 72-11. minutes. Last chance to hit the concession stand if you are hungry or thirsty. Fantastic popcorn and ice cold Pepsi products. And if you have a hankering for Dippin' Dots, they have those as well. 2 takedown mats.
At the same time?
I don't have to teach him.
Oh, he already knows
In
it?
his very first game, he cross-checked the kid that was down on the ice, came up behind him and went like this. I'm like, Josh.
Where did you learn that?
Well, I asked him that. He got tripped. The kid fell into him, and he fell down. And he got up. He skated over to that kid, took his hand and pushed the kid's head in the ice, and then waited for him to get up, and took his stick and whacked him across the ankles and tripped him. He slashed 2 kids. He knocked 1 kid into the boards. I mean, just a goon all day. And I asked him, I said, Josh, they don't teach you to play like that. Where did you learn to play like that? And he said, in my brain. So I said, Josh, why did you hit all those people? He said, because it's fun. I'm like, all right. That's the kid I have.
That's your handful.
Yep, that's the kid I have.
After 2 periods, Max leads 9-0. Two near fall nets. Winner by major decision, Connor Max. Up next, for the Mustangs, Braden Noyes, and for the Highliners, Jaden Serb.
on the West Fargo Cheyenne Mustangs on the back end of a triangular being held tonight here at Valley City High School. As we get going, there are a few junior varsity bouts that are left to go before we get into the main event of the night. West Fargo remaining undefeated for the Cheyenne Mustangs. They take on a Valley City team that is in a position where they must win out starting tonight, and they've done that already with a 72-11 win over Red River and something that was expected. But these next two for Valley City will be very difficult. West Fargo Cheyenne hasn't yet been beaten. West Fargo High School is waiting coming up tomorrow night. And talking with Aaron Larson tonight, there are two paths into the state tournament for Valley City. One is win out. You got to beat Cheyenne. You got to beat West Fargo tomorrow night over there at their place. That gets you in. The other path into the state duels would be to be defeated tonight and go beat West Fargo by about 50 points. And that's because you would get into a three-way tie with Central. You need a point differential. Central was beaten by about 45 points by West Fargo. So that scenario is not exactly a likely one. So it comes down to this one tonight, Kirk. And, Ryan Cunningham, Kirk Olson with you tonight from the Highlander Activity Center. And, we think wrestling's a different sport than a lot of other sports, and it is. But one thing that's the same, you take a key component out of the lineup, and it's a very different season. Ethan Miller was not able to go for the Highlanders this year. I think you and I would say that definitely the Davies duel goes a different direction if Ethan Miller's in the lineup. Maybe the Central duel at home goes a different direction if Ethan Miller's in the lineup, and it's a very different scenario. But without him, Highlanders have to run the table starting tonight.
Yeah, I think you take Miller out of there. That's basically points every match. It would sway things, and I think just as a team-wise, you won't have to move around. Coach Larson's really good at strategizing. He's already got it in his head, asking them beforehand. There's some things that have to go our way. That's basically what he's saying. They can mix and match some things. It'll be an interesting duel tonight to see if we get some upsets where we need them.
Absolutely, and of course the individual matches will still be important. Highlanders come off of a 1-1 effort Friday night. They did defeat Jamestown 46-30. That duel left something to be desired. Jamestown has some key components that are injured, didn't present where we thought they would put some people. It seems as though the coaching staff over in Jamestown wanted to save some potential matches until a later date, and that later date would be in a couple of weekends in the Fargo.
Yeah, I wasn't here. I was up in Minot Gymnastics watching it on my phone, and I was expecting some guys to be moved around to get some great matches, but I think what they were really doing is protecting the seedings.
Sure,
is what they were doing.
Yeah, West Region and State as well. And so in the long run, that didn't quite develop the way it was supposed to. And then Bismarck Legacy, who has a very good wrestling season going, defeated Valley City in that triangular against a couple of WDA teams. And now tonight, West Fargo Cheyenne comes to town as we take a look at the standings in the Eastern Dakota Conference. Cheyenne's 8-0 with their win over Red River tonight. They've overtaken Davies for first place in the East Region, and currently would be a half game ahead. No, they're even in the win column, but if Cheyenne wins here, they'll be a full game ahead. They have tiebreakers with Fargo Davies. And for Cheyenne, this is important as well, because in the past, if you get to the state duels out of the East, you better be the 1 seed, because 2, 3, and 4 are going to get some really, really good teams from the West Region. So she can afford to go down tonight, or their seeds in jeopardy. They're going to look at this with a little bit of urgency as well.
Yeah, I think in years past, Valley City has been going in as a number 1 seed, and you want the number 1 seed because you want to wrestle the number 4 from the West, because 1, 2, and 3, I don't think
it's a brick wall.
Yeah,
to climb one of them. Absolutely.
Pick your poison on that. You're going to have a big match. Doesn't matter.
Absolutely. So the 1 seed's important. Cheyenne's going to try to earn that, and I believe they can. With a win tonight, they would run the table in the league. They would go to 9-0, and so that would give them the number 1 seed out of the East going into the state tournament. When we come back, we'll take a look at some of the matchups for the upcoming night tonight, and then we'll get ready for varsity wrestling as they continue the preliminary matches right now here at the Highlander Activity Center. Again, it's Valley City and West Fargo Cheyenne. The current numbers have this one with Valley City at 5-2 in the league. West Fargo Cheyenne is 8-0, and this is Highlander Wrestling on the voice of the Highlanders and the voice of the Valley, KOVC. welcome you back to the Highlander Activity Center, where our preliminary matches have come to a conclusion, and now we're getting ready for the start of varsity wrestling tonight as the Valley City Highlanders come out onto the mat to take on the West Fargo Cheyenne Mustangs, as the Highlanders need to win in order to preserve their opportunity to move on to the state tournament in dual competition. Ryan Cunningham, Kirk Olson with you here this evening. Quick look at the projected starting lineups for tonight, brought to you by CHI Mercy Health, Valley City, Hello Human Kindness. 106, Chase Coughlin and Chase Clemenson. 2 7th graders, Coughlin for Valley City, Clemenson for West Fargo Cheyenne. At 113, Tyson Claiborne, 8th grader for Valley City, and Jake Mattern, an 8th grader for Cheyenne. At 120, Colton Griebel, sophomore for Valley City, and Landon Zink, an 8th grader for the Mustangs. At 126, we'll see Cruz Kappenman, a freshman, and Stetson Gieselbeck, a sophomore for West Fargo Cheyenne. We are going to pause for our national anthem. We'll come back and continue our starting lineups next.
Between the West Fargo Cheyenne Mustangs and your Valley City Highlanders. Time for the face-off at 106 pounds for the Mustangs.
We welcome you back to our pregame report tonight, brought to you by Sanford Health Valley City, here for all and here for good. Ryan Cunningham, Kirk Olson from the Highlander Activity Center tonight as the Highlanders get set to take on the West Fargo Cheyenne Mustangs. Let's continue our starting lineups for tonight, again brought to you by CHI Mercy Health Valley City, Hello Human Kindness. At 132 tonight for Valley City, Tucker Johnson, a senior, Jackson Alexander, a sophomore for West Fargo Cheyenne. At 138, Coy Griebel for the Highlanders, a senior, and Jetson Wadeson, an 8th grader for Cheyenne. At 145, Espen Kunze for the Highlanders, a senior. We'll take on Marcus Johnson, also a senior for Cheyenne. At 152, Alex Rogelstad, a senior for the Highlanders, and Carter Zink, a junior for the Mustangs. At 160, Ryer Muskie, a freshman for Valley City, will take on Sawyer Carr, a junior from Cheyenne. At 170, Tyson Hovland, senior for the Highlanders, will take on Connor Mansky, a junior for the Mustangs. At 182, we'll see, I believe that's Carter Jewett, a junior, take on Maddox Weigel, a sophomore for Cheyenne. At 195, Anton Bulow, an 8th grader for the Highlanders, will take on Caden Mansky, a senior for Cheyenne. At 220, Broden Muskie, a senior for the Highlanders, and Ryder Weigel, a senior for Cheyenne. And then Scott Rohde at heavyweight tonight, a sophomore, will take on Jarius Rawls, a junior for Cheyenne. Kirk, a couple of places where the Highlanders are a little bit different in their lineup than the last time you and I got together. Number one is at the very top of the lineup in Scott Rohde. He had made his move over to Valley City Wrestling from the basketball team. Wasn't quite eligible yet. We saw him go out in the match against Red River tonight. Athletic, ready to go. Looks like he's a nice addition at the heavyweight division.
Yeah, as a sophomore, as big as he is, wow, I'm excited to watch him take on Rawls. from West Fargo. So it'll be exciting to see him go.
Be a good one. And then the other, and we noticed this as well, Cruz Kappenman, a freshman who gets Stetson Gieselbeck tonight for West Fargo Cheyenne. Cruz Kappenman was an unknown commodity to us, and we watched him wrestle against Red River, and he was really good in the duel against Red River.
He won
Looked
with
like
a
he'd been
pin.
around for a while.
Exactly. So and both of us were like, who is this? We haven't seen him yet. So some good things have been happening with the Highliners.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost as if he moved into town. I mean, he's that new. Like, we hadn't seen him before. I don't know if he had been out there in a junior varsity capacity before or not, but nonetheless, that's what we'll see as far as the lineup tonight. So Cheyenne, West Fargo, Cheyenne, and Valley City meeting at the center of the mat with the captains meeting right now. We'll break and come back with the first duel tonight. We're going to start at 182, and it's next. This is Highlander Wrestling on the Voice of the Valley, KOBC. First bout of the night, Highlander Wrestling, Valley City, West Fargo, Cheyenne. We're at 182. Carter Jewett expected to report for Valley City. Connor Mansky is on the mat, moving up from 170 to 182 for West Fargo, Cheyenne. So we'll see that. And Ryer Muskie's going to move up from 160 to 182 tonight. So the jockeying already begins. It's Muskie at 182 for Valley City and Mansky. And here's a quick throw by Mansky on Ryer Muskie to get started right in the middle of the mat. So both teams playing the lineup situation. Reverse half thrown on after the throw by Mansky, and Mansky's looking for a fall.
And Mansky is ranked number 1 at 170 pounds.
So he moves up to 182 tonight, as he might have been expecting to take on Carter Jewett, or Cheyenne may have been looking for somebody else to move up. He'll get a 3-point near fall, and Mansky will take a 5-0 lead after a 5-point move on Ryer Muskie here at 182 pounds. So we're underway. Our bout brought to you tonight commercial free by Sanford Health Valley City. And here is the fall. It'll be recorded at 41 seconds of the opening period. And Mansky will win by fall at the 182-pound weight class. And Cheyenne will take a 6-0 lead. As we get ready to go to 195, it'll be brought to you commercial free tonight by CHI, Mercy Health Valley City, by Brothers 3, and by Valley Meat Supply. Let's see what we have coming to the mat. Carter Jewett will report for Valley City at 195. And we'll see who reports for West Fargo Cheyenne. Maddox Weigel will move up from 182 to 195. And Carter Jewett will move up from 182 to 195. And so it'll be Carter Jewett of Valley City and Maddox Weigel for West Fargo Cheyenne in our 195-pound weight class. So some interesting changes in the lineup, but we kind of expected that, right, Kirk? I mean, you're going to go through your lineup as best you can.
We do expect that, and if people are out there wondering why we're pausing, and we got to try to figure out who's out there and where they're moving people around.
Yeah, the last time I talked to Rob about that, I asked some brave athletic director to take on the cause of putting numbers on the back of the uniforms so we'd be able to tell who goes out, but I don't think wrestling's going to allow that. 2 wrestlers locked up, collar and elbow in the middle of the mat, just left of center. And so far, a rather defensive Carter Jewett against a more offensive Maddox Weigel coming in for West Fargo Cheyenne. Jewett a little bit of a shuck of the head, steps back, and now he wants to recenter. He'll go back to the middle of the mat, reaches out with the left hand to make some contact on Weigel, and now they're locked up on the shoulders and wrists with the clock down to a minute to wrestle here in the opening period. Weigel and Carter Jewett moving left. Quick shot attempt by Weigel. Now down into a high crotch and trying to finish that outside single. But good counter by Jewett, and he's going to run his way back to the middle of the mat. and get reset. I'm not sure why Weigel bailed out of that shot. He had a pretty good position. Here's another into a fireman's carry. He caught the arm on the way through. Jewett trying to roll through it. Weigel trying to counter across the chest. Went deep waist, and he has to settle for the chest at this point. Jewett's able to roll through, but a three-point near fall, and Weigel will take a 5-0 lead on the fireman's carry.
Quick fireman's on that, and you're right. Caught the arm and stayed right on the back. Not much you could do.
And now a quick turn again out of the legs and into a half Nelson with a leg ride thrown in. Jewett turn, couple of counts and near fall. Jewett trying to roll through that as well. He did roll through. Weigel held the half Nelson for a moment. He'll get 2 more counts, and it's 7-0 in favor of Weigel for West Fargo Cheyenne at 195, and that will run out the clock in the opening period.
Yeah, Weigel really good on going from move to move. I don't think Jewett is really prepared for that quick movement from one move to the other.
Yeah, and they'll go from the feet to start the second period. Weigel had some success up there and wants to continue at that point, decides not to go from the down position. So 7-0. Here's a fireman's carry again. Again, Jewett trying to roll through it, and again, Weigel was able to catch an arm. He converts it into a chicken wing bar. He gets the takedown, now has a half Nelson and chicken wing combination loaded in. This is tough to finish against somebody that has some leverage from down, but you see Weigel getting it in deep, and right there was Jewett to brace the far arm. He tried to drop the chin, did Weigel, and Jewett was able to roll back to his base. Now Weigel wants the legs.
Yeah, trying to throw those legs in, and boy, he's going from move to move. I don't think he realized what's hitting him.
Yeah, that chicken wing half Nelson is a difficult move to finish from top. It really is. Carter Jewett off the mat. A little upset with himself as he comes back to center. 9-0 in favor of Connor Mansky, rather Maddox Weigel, who moves up from 182 to 195 tonight to get the duel started for West Fargo Cheyenne. And it's 9-0 in favor of Weigel in our 195-pound bout as Carter Jewett continues to work from bottom. Jewett trying to work his way back towards the wrists and pick them. Little side roll, got him high into a short set. He's caught, chin drop again. Weigel trying to bridge out of it, into a reverse headlock. Now back into a bit of a chicken wing, trying that thread the needle, he got it. And a bridge by Jewett, another bridge, and he's stuck. And a big thread the needle combination by Weigel, catching him, and really a thrower that was fun to watch. And the time of the fall will be at 3 minutes and 14 seconds.
Yeah, you know, the one thing looking at Maddox Weigel he moved up to 195. You look at Connor Mansky is ranked 1 at 170. Ryder Weigel, I'm presuming his brother, is ranked 4th at 220. He's probably sits in the wrestling room and gets wiped up with those guys, and it's his turn now.
But we will see the matchup of a couple of ranked wrestlers, it would appear.
Yes.
No, Caden Mansky is going to move up from 195 to 220 tonight. So Mansky for West Fargo Cheyenne, a senior, will move up from 195 to 220. And we'll see Broden Muskie go on the mat at 220 pounds. So the Highlanders will send out their 220-pounder tonight. Match brought to you commercial-free by LaRue Laco Financial, by Ivy Real Estate Group, and by Highline Electric this evening. And we'll see what kind of matchup a couple of seniors will give us here as Caden Mansky moving up from that 195-pound class to 220, take on one of the better 220-pounders in the state.
Yeah, I'm wondering what the philosophy is of this as far as them moving them up.
Well, you've either taken Ryder Weigel or Jarius Rawls out of the lineup, right?
Yeah.
That's what you've done. You can't bump everybody because you're going up to 106, and the heavyweights look a little different than 106-pounders. As a quick counter and ankle pick for Broden Muskie will make it a 2-0 lead as Muskie comes up with a takedown.
That's what I bet they're thinking about doing. And, man, the strategy between these two right now is moving the guys around. Should pay off.
Yeah, this might be a protect the seeds type of choice here. With the lead already 12-0, maybe you don't want to send Ryder Weigel out against Broden Muskie before the EDC tournament, which is coming up this weekend, as a matter of fact, and so you might want to preserve that match for later. Muskie working a chicken wing in deep here on Caden Mansky, trying to jump to the feet and turn that. He's got the bar arm locked into it now as well. Jumps across the body, but so far, Caden Mansky's been able to stay at least belly to mat. Now a quick try for the chin drop again by Muskie, bending up that arm 90 degrees across the back. 25 seconds left to go, second period, 2-0 in favor of Broden Muskie on the opening takedown. Little Granby roll try and a reach across, and now Broden Muskie's turned it with a half Nelson and going on the back door with a couple of arms on reverse chickens. And he's got Caden Mansky perplexed in front of the Sheyenne bench. I don't know if you can get a fall out of this.
I think he will right here.
Yeah, now Muskie collapses, puts the hip back, and he gets the fall there. Time of the fall will be at 3 minutes and 58 seconds of the center, actually of the mat. Oh, was that the first period?
First period, yeah.
158, not 358, 158, and that'll make it 12-6.
That's that Highliner math again.
I know, sorry, I thought we were in the second period already. So we go to the heavyweight division, and we'll see who goes out. Scott Rohde is the choice for Valley City. So we won't see Jarius Rawls tonight for West Fargo Cheyenne at all. It'll be Scott Rohde, a sophomore, and Jarius Rawls, a junior, for West Fargo Cheyenne. Brought to you tonight commercial-free by Jamestown Regional Medical Center, by Grotberg Electric, and by Sanford Health Valley City. And a quick single-leg takedown for Ryder Weigel, moving up from 220 to heavyweight to try to get in on Scott Rohde. He's got a 2-0 lead and has Rohde on a deep waist across the body as we get started with this first period at 200 at the heavyweight division.
Yeah, and I saw Coach Larson over there talking to Scott Rohde, getting him fired up a little bit here. I'm presuming he's having the talk out there. Just go out and do your best, have fun with it.
Absolutely. Rohde new to the sport, obviously a bright future though, a sophomore, big-bodied kid. Really had a great football season for Valley City in the second half of the year this year. And we expect good things out of him after, you know, making the change from the basketball team here in Valley City. They'd say he'd gone to the dark side, right? Comes over to the wrestling team. You and I wouldn't say that.
When you call him big-bodied, he's a horse.
He is. He gets up to his feet and breaks away from a chicken wing to grab an escape, and it's now 2-1, and Rohde wants to initiate some contact here. Again, Ryder Weigel moving up to the 200, or actually to the heavyweight division from 220, so everybody bumping up on the top end of the lineup tonight.
And I think he's given up quite a bit of weight, too, to him.
He might be. Here's a shot attempt again by Weigel, and a sprawl by Rohde. He got caught and got the arm up, and that's one of those you got to learn on the way through. He caught the arm up trying to sprawl out. There comes a point where you got to give him the takedown. Rohde trying to turn off his back now as Weigel caught him in front of the scorer's table. It's going to be 7-1, and there's the fall. Time of the fall will be at 131, and Scott Rohde a little banged up on it as well. He's clinching back at his right leg, and that might have been why the arm got a little high on him. He's going to make his way back to center and try to walk it off. But
he's grabbing his toe or ankle or limping a little bit there, but
131 the time of the fall for Ryder Weigel, and Weigel will make it 18-6, and Rohde trying to walk that off. You could tell he's uncomfortable as we go to 106 pounds. Chase Coughlin, Chase Clemenson set to go to the mat. We'll see who reports.
All right, now get your voice ready. Get your voice ready, because with these little guys, it's go, go, go.
Chase Clemenson and Chase Coughlin. Clemenson for West Fargo Cheyenne, Coughlin for Valley City. 18-6. The Highlanders can't afford to give up any falls, and this has been the part of the lineup where they've been pinned at times throughout the course of the season. Here's a fireman's carry by Clemenson, and Coughlin bailed out of it, and that's a little bit of progression for Chase Coughlin. We've seen him turned in those moves before, but he gets to his base here.
Yeah, and you know, we talked about teams with signature moves. I think West Fargo used that fireman.
Yeah, Cheyenne has been good on the fireman's carry tonight. Leg thrown in and a reach back for Clemenson on the crossfade. He's got Coughlin turned. Coughlin turned in the middle of the mat, trying to roll his way back towards his base, but Clemenson has the body sort of stretched out at this point. Went to that leg ride and came back with a crossface, and he has Coughlin in some trouble. Coughlin trying to turn back and forth. Give Coughlin some credit. He's trying to stay out of the fall. A lot of time left, though, in the middle of the mat, and now Clemenson will convert this into the reverse half. It's a half Nelson bar arm. Coughlin with a deep bridge in the middle of the mat. Clemenson continuing to press, and there's the fall at 1 minute and 3 seconds of the opening period, and 6 more points to West Fargo Cheyenne, and we're starting to see why the Mustangs are undefeated in dual competition. They're pinners. They've won 4 bouts tonight, all by fall.
Exactly. I was looking at that too. Usually we get some, especially the bigger guys, go just with points, and now
we'll go to 113. Well, now they say Chase Clemenson.
That's what I thought.
106.
Yeah, this is Clemenson.
Well, they announced Clemenson
I
at
know.
106 pounds. All right, we don't know who wrestled at 106 tonight then.
Yeah.
Clemenson's moving up to 113 to take on Tyson Claybo. So this will be Clemenson against Claybo at 113. And our match brought to you commercial free tonight by Central Avenue Health Mart Pharmacy, by Mobility Plus Rehabilitation, and by Smith Lumber. And again, apologies, they announced Clemenson at 106. But now Clemenson's on the mat at 113. Here's a shot attempt, and Claybo, a good sprawl out of the deep ways, and a shuck to the mat. Clemenson lands at a short sit, tries to get back to his feet. Claybo stays behind him, and a Granby roll try for Clemenson. He reaches back at a leg, and now Claybo has a leg bent up underneath the body of Clemenson with a 2-0 lead. They did give Claybo the takedown. Claybo trying for a cradle, as is Clemenson. They're both trying to cradle simultaneously, and they're going to give Clemenson a reversal. So Clemenson gets a reversal as Claybo has to get back to his base. Claybo had a cradle across the body with his body inside of it.
Yeah.
You can't do that unless you're 113 pounds. At 120, you're officially too big to pull off that move.
Absolutely. So I thought for sure he was going to have a cradle and a pin there, and he all of a sudden goes to his own back.
Yeah. Well, there was no way to tip that when your body's inside the cradle that you've thrown on. Correct. So 2-2 is your score. Clemenson has a leg ride left side on Tyson Claybo. He tries to work half Nelson, goes underneath the chin.
There's quite a height difference between the two.
Yeah, Claybo's a long-bodied kid. Of course, his dad, Matt, was a 6'7" basketball player at Valley City State University, former Garrison trooper. And right now, Claybo broken down on the mat as Clemenson tries to free an arm. He's got that. The leg is out. And Claybo trying to get back to his base as Aaron Larson, the head coach of the Highlanders, approaches the mat. And Tyson Claybo is going to be hit for a stalling caution here, as he hasn't done a lot of moving here as of late. Clock down to 2, clock down to 1, and we'll be at 2s as we go to the second period of this one. Well, this will be just the
he defers
second bout of the night that will go to the second period. Clemenson's chosen top, and he's a leg rider, which is really surprising against a kid like Tyson Claybo, that you go legs, because Claybo clearly has the leverage advantage there. But Clemenson trying to work from an experience angle on that leg ride. Claybo up to his base, reaching out. Clemenson hooking an ankle. Now Claybo into a short sit, trying the sit and turn. Clemenson tried to catch him in a chin drop, and Claybo gets back to his base. Clemenson continuing to work from top. Now remember, Claybo's been cautioned once for stalling, and he's completely defensive right now on the mat, so the official will watch that rather closely here.
Yeah, Coach Larson does not like him not moving, and
you got to keep working towards your base, and I think Tyson's trying, but Clemenson's pretty strong for a 106-pound kid that's moving up to 113, and Clemenson's giving up some weight, giving up some size, as Kirk alluded to, and yet looks like the more dominant wrestler from up there right now. Clock down to 1:05 left second period. Still tied at 2 on the LaRue Laco Financial scoreboard in our 113-pound bout.
Yeah, Claybo's just struggling of clearing his legs.
Well, and the arms for that matter. I mean, Clemenson's done a great job of staying right on the back. He's high in his ride, but that leg really gives him the leverage up there, and he's got the legs thrown back in. And if you've ever experienced a leg rider, we're going to see a stalemate. If you've ever experienced a leg rider, if they know what they're doing, it's more mentally frustrating than it is physically.
Oh yeah, you can stall really well with throwing the legs in.
Absolutely. Claybo, a little sit and turn. Clemenson trying to work back towards the shoulders again. Comes up underneath on the wrists and goes bar arms with 30 seconds to go. He had visions of trying to jump, but I don't think he can get around Claybo's body to come back on the backside to have Nelson that combination.
No.
Still has the bar arm. Now he's going to try to reach through and pull that up on the back, set up that thread the needle, but very little time left to work with in the second period.
Yeah, and Clemenson's really not doing anything once he puts the legs in.
No, he's presenting enough to stay away from trouble, but not really getting a lot of technique done up there. Yep. Down to 2, down to 1. Second period done. Here we go to the third. And it'll be Tyson Claybo's choice, and now he wants to work from top.
Which I'm sort of surprised at that. But he rode the whole second period out.
I don't recall seeing a wrestling match recently where both wrestlers chose top when it was their turn to choose, right?
That's a heavyweight selection, or the big weights.
Right. Little
there's a
turn
nice
in the
tilt.
2-on-1, and Clemenson able to roll through it. So Claybo working 2-on-1. He's got a chicken wing thrown in 2-on-1.
He might hit Clemenson with a stall too.
Well, he's been able to put Clemenson in the spot that Clemenson had Claybo in back in the second period,
He's
where
got a
Clemenson
chicken
can't
wing.
move at all.
He needs to just tilt him.
He's got 2-on-1 right now underneath the body. Now going chicken wing exclusively. Clemenson trying to break the chicken wing by putting his arms together, and he's able to break it off. So Claybo comes back with a cross face. We're down to 105 of the third. This match is still tied at 2. The lone takedown going to Tyson Claybo. Reversal for Clemenson, but boy, it seems like once Clemenson was put on bottom, he's run out of gas.
Yeah, exactly. He's got the bar arm in again.
Chicken wing, bar arm underneath the body.
He's got to get his hip underneath.
Trying to walk it around the head. Loads up once. Now chicken wing loaded up again. Clemenson into a short set. Claybo got high. Clemenson comes back to his base, but Claybo sags back. Down to 35 seconds left of the third.
Thing is, Claybo cannot let him go now with under 30 seconds left.
Got to ride him out.
Yep.
And you got to keep working, too, with the caution for stalling already. Clemenson to his feet. Reaches back at a leg. Claybo hips him back to the mat. Then a quick turn. Tried to jump through. Clemenson reaches back at a leg. This is destined for a stalemate, and that's what we'll see with 12 seconds left of the third period.
Good job to go a quick stalemate on that, too. 12 seconds left.
Claybo ride from the left-hand side, tied at 2, 12 seconds left. Clemenson to his feet, trying to break away. Slips out of bounds, and he got the escape. 5 seconds left, and now Clemenson takes off running. There's a caution for stalling, and that's the way the match will come to a conclusion. And Clemenson knew he hadn't been hit for a stalling caution yet, so he takes off at a slow jog outside the ring and wins by a score of 3-2 at the end of the matchup.
It's a good thing he stayed on the mat, because if he went out of the mat, he could get him with eluding. And that would be a point instead of a stall.
We'll go to 120. Jake Mattern may move up. Landon Zink is the scheduled wrestler there for West Fargo Cheyenne. Let's see who reports. Landon Zink will wrestle at 120 against Colton Griebel. And Colton Griebel with a quick single leg shot. Colton Griebel at 120, one more dominant in his weight class throughout the course of the year. He throws in a takedown try on Landon Zink. Zink continuing to try to counter. Griebel on a single leg outside. Good whizzer by Zink trying to counter so far. Griebel resets, comes down to the ankle. Continuing to turn Zink on a 1-foot stance and hips the leg, goes after the second, picks the outside leg and has the takedown. So Colton Griebel getting a little physical, but also going back to some technique, and he'll pick up the takedown on Landon Zink. Our commercial, or rather our bout tonight, brought to you commercial free by Ivy Real Estate Group, by the BCSU V500 Foundation, and also tonight by Valley Meat Supply as we get started again.
You know, and that's a fun thing watching Colton wrestle, is that he's a beast, he's a brute, he likes to go out there and manhandle, but if he needs a good technique, he can.
Yeah, you and I were talking before the match about the similarities between he and Jason Schustrom, who is a state champion for Valley City, and Schustrom had a very similar body type, was built about as strongly, and also had absolutely no problem putting in a little physical discomfort on you to get you to do what he wanted you to do.
Yep,
and he was good at it, and it's made him a very good wrestler in that regard. Little chicken wing thrown on here by Colton Griebel. Comes back across the body, threw it into a half. Boy, that's an exceptional finish for Colton Griebel. Now, trying to catch him here is Landon Zink, and Griebel back on his hips here, looking to maintain control. Reaches in behind Zink's right knee.
He's in a hold that and get a stalemate.
That's what he's hoping for with 30 seconds here. They say that he still has control because Zink's head is in here. Zink's head down on the mat at this point, but Colton Griebel's on his hips back exposed. Continues to reach and try to control the body. 15 seconds left of the period. Zink having visions of getting out for one. Griebel trying to hold on and not give him one. 10 seconds. Official continues to signal that Griebel has control. Zink back to a knee, could not finish. That's a good piece of defensive wrestling by Colton Griebel to hold on to position and keep a 2-0 lead.
That's a great experience on Colton Griebel just to hold on to that. I thought they would have hit him with a stalemate.
He knew exactly what he was doing in that
Absolutely.
sequence. And he'll go from bottom to start the second period. So Griebel leading 2-0 over Landon Zink, our 120-pound matchup. Landon Zink's an 8th grader. Colton Griebel, a sophomore.
Looked like he's using a langless roll here.
We see Griebel in there picking an inside leg. He's underneath the body. He was from bottom here trying to roll out and finish. Collapses in on the hips. Zink continues to try to leg up on the body and also control the head. And he's got Colton Griebel's head, but not the arm. And now he's going to bail out on that as we saw Griebel able to pick the far leg. That gave him some hip advantage. But he'll go back to a traditional mount here, and it's 4-0 in favor of Colton Griebel, and he wants to work bull drive. Had the bull drive for a moment, tried to convert it into a chicken wing. I didn't know the arm could bend that way. Landon Zink's arm was being bent right at the elbow. Did you see that?
I did.
I thought it would come clean off. Zink comes back behind the body, goes across in the deep waist, tries to pick the left arm, just continues to really be aggressive from top here, staying right on the shoulders, goes to work on that 2-on-1 turn again out of the chicken wing. This is meant to score. It's not necessarily meant to fall. It's meant to score, and he's got Zink exposed to the mat as the official counts off the near fall. He's going to get a full 5 here. So Griebel knows he's got the 3 coming. We'll see if he chooses to break the technique and get his points. And it looks like that's what he's going to do, and there are the 3 for near fall.
And I didn't realize Landon Zink is ranked number 2 at 120.
Yeah, he's at 100. Yeah, so this is a good matchup. Maybe number 1, number 2 in the state at this point. I thought we were going to see that this weekend against Jamestown or against Legacy, but as it turns out, number 1 and number 2. But right now, Colton Griebel 7-0 with the lead, and we've seen Landon Zink wrestle extremely well here from the counter position. Hasn't given up a lot so far tonight to Colton Griebel, but Griebel's taking advantage of everything he's been given.
Yeah.
Down to 5 seconds.
I wonder how many matches Colton's gone to the third period.
Not many, but you know, if you're wrestling the number 2 ranked wrestler in North Dakota, then you know, it's probably worth it at that point, right? Mm-hmm. And so now third period gets underway, and we'll start from the feet as Griebel and Zink will see one another in the third period of wrestling here tonight. Zink down towards the knee. Griebel continues to work on the arms. They're destined to go off the mat. A throw attempt by Zink. That was ill-advised. They're off the mat to go back to the middle and reset.
I don't think he wants to try to go into a throwing match with Colton.
No, Colton Griebel's not exactly the guy that you want to try to throw in this situation. You want to be careful.
Nice single leg and goes into a cradle.
Yep, single leg into the inside, that front cradle. Zink saw it coming, was able to slip out of it, but the single is finished for Colton Griebel. That'll make it 9-0 in favor of Colton Griebel at 120 pounds with 125 to go on the LaRue Laco Financial scoreboard. 27-6 your score in the duel.
Colton's got a little tilt there, getting some back points.
Yeah, the cross face coming across, got the leg tied up. The near fall's been counted off. So there's 3 more, and now Griebel's task, 3 points to get the technical fall. He's got a minute to do it. He'd earn Valley City 1 more team point. If Zink's not going to go down to a pin tonight, you're looking for 1 more roll here to see if you can't make this a 15-point matchup. There's 1 turn, and it's the 2-on-1 again, that chicken wing 2-on-1 turn.
And there's
the count,
fall.
And the official counting it off, and there's the technical fall. The time of it will be at 5 minutes and 15 seconds.
And you got to presume that they were thinking that Zinke would not lose by that. That's usually 6 points for them. And
instead 5 for the Highlanders. Yep. So 27-11 your score in the duel now as we're halfway through. And we're going to see the new guy for Valley City if he goes out. Let's see who we got.
Did I hear Jackson Allen?
Well, they announced Cruz Kappenman.
Yeah, it's Cruz.
And Jackson Alexander will move down. So Jackson Alexander will move down from 132 to take on Cruz Kappenman for Valley City. And Jackson Alexander with a low single to get things started tonight to make it 2-0. Our bout brought to you tonight commercial free by Bank Forward, by CHI, Mercy Health, and by Brothers 3. So Cruz Kappenman, one of the new additions to the Highlander roster that we hadn't seen the first half of the season, getting himself at that 126-pound weight class, and a half Nelson thrown in here by Jackson Alexander. Alexander moving down. He's got Kappenman in some trouble, and there's a fall. Boy, that was quick. 33 seconds for Jackson Alexander. And so a 33-second fall at 126. And it's 33-11 in favor of West Fargo Cheyenne. As we get ready for 132, we'll see if they move Stetson Gissel back up to take on Tucker Johnson. Let's see who we have here. I believe they said Jetton Wadeson is going to go down to 132. So Jetton Wadeson down to 132 to take on Tucker Johnson for Valley City. So it's Wadeson for Sheyenne and Tucker Johnson for Valley City. And Tucker Johnson's had a monster second half of the season for the Highlanders. Westlake last week, I believe, or 2 weeks ago.
Headlock.
But a headlock thrown on here by Wadeson, and he's got Tucker Johnson in some trouble. Johnson in trouble in the middle of the mat. Johnson able to roll out of it, comes out high in the headlock, and now Johnson looking to turn this into an advantage for himself as he has Wadeson's arm held up. A reversal. There'll be 2 near fall for Jetson Wadeson. But Tucker Johnson close to getting a reversal. They have not yet given points. Johnson trying to get behind, and he will get the reversal. So the roll for Tucker Johnson will make it 4-2. Wadeson with a 2-point lead. We'll see now as Wadeson gets into a short sit and turns himself back to his base. Tucker Johnson working from the left-hand side. And Johnson, again, a great second half of the season. Picked up a recent championship in a tournament and has really just come on strong. I believe he's ranked 5th right now. And we'll see a whistle and a stalemate coming up as Johnson was working a bar arm combination. We're going to have some blood time coming off here for Jetton Wadeson. So some blood time with 48 seconds remaining here in the opening period. Your score 4-2 in favor of Wadeson. And now what we have to determine is if that was kind of a fluke move in that situation or if that's something a little bit more. And actually, I believe they're tending to Tucker Johnson.
Yep, Tucker has a blood.
Looks like they're looking at the nose. And it looks like they've got that fairly well cleaned up. They're running the blood time right now. And they're over cleaning Wadeson off as well. They're going to stop the blood time.
And Jetson Wadeson's only an 8th grader.
Yeah, Wadeson moving down from 138 to 132 to take on Tucker Johnson. So this would be only one wrestler so far for the Mustangs has gone out at the weight class they were supposed to tonight, and that was Landon Zink at 120. Everything else has been move up or down. And right now this is a move down from 138. Tucker Johnson at 132 rides left-hand side. We're back underway. Wadeson short sit. Johnson caught him chicken wing left side and now goes to work trying to break him down. Chicken wing bar. Johnson has it. Now looking for an opportunity to walk it across and actually break the body down. And tried to go opposite side, turns it into 2-on-1, but Wadeson able to fight himself into a short set. Johnson trying to hold on to control. Little try for the outside headlock, now into a wing lock combination out of a half Nelson from Johnson. Both wrestlers roll through it. They're off the mat. That'll be an escape for Wadeson. Boy, that's some aggressive wrestling from bottom on the counters for Wadeson.
Yeah.
5-2, Wadeson takes the lead out to 3 on Tucker Johnson.
All he was doing is just trying to get the arm in, and he kept rolling.
Another headlock thrown on here by Wadeson. That's been his choice of move so far tonight, but Johnson caught this one on the way through, trying again to isolate that arm, and somehow Wadeson has had the ability to not lose that arm when he's been caught in the headlock throw. Johnson turns it into a takedown to make it 5-4. Wadeson by 1. Johnson's choice, and he'll go from bottom.
Yeah, I think Johnson's a little bit probably not really prepared for this, thinking that he's going to have someone else.
Well, not only that, but the headlock has been such a great counter for Wadeson. You don't see that very often, where he waits for a wrestler to get high on a shot attempt and then comes across on the headlock and feels confident enough to be able to do. Normally, that's the kiss of death when you put that headlock in at that point. Johnson will get an escape as he starts from bottom in the second period. Our bout is brought to you commercial-free tonight by Smith Lumber, by LaRue Laco Financial, and by Grotberg Electric. It's 5 apiece as Tucker Johnson works the escape. Shot attempt by Johnson, kind of fireman's carry with an overhook, tried to go at the inside leg. And right now, Wadeson has him caught in a sprawl, going underhooks for himself. They're off the mat. Back to the middle they go. They'll start from the feet.
This is sort of surprising. I wonder if this isn't the Marcus Johnson that I have on here instead of
Jetson Wadeson?
Yeah.
Well,
I know that's what they announced.
yeah, we're going to go with what they announced, obviously. Shot attempt by Johnson. a double leg from distance here. Wadeson trying to catch him on the arms. Johnson's been able to turn that into a single leg. He stayed with it, is able to collapse on it. Another throw attempt by Wadeson, catching an arm high, sort of a down jab whizzer type of combination. And Johnson caught that as well and held on to get the takedown, but his arm is still caught underneath the body.
Yep, they're just going to go a stalemate here.
Stalemate back the middle. Tell you what, Kirk and I were watching some of the JV matches tonight, and we've called some moves that we haven't called in a while. A three-quarter Nelson, a side roll we saw in the JV matches tonight, right?
Yeah.
Three-quarter Nelson, you hardly ever see that. The down jab whizzer, that gets used once every 3 or 4 years. And that time it was used by Wadeson on a throw attempt, but Johnson was able to hold on for a takedown. 7-5, Johnson leading by 2 now. Wadeson trying to get back to his feet. Wadeson's been a very interesting wrestler to watch tonight. He's got 5 points. 4 of them came on a counter headlock, and he's been more than willing to let his opponent shoot and then try upper body throws from the backside. Here he tries to roll through, and now Tucker Johnson caught him 2-on-1 on that tilt turn in the middle of the mat. This should be 3 points in near fall right at the period for Tucker Johnson. He gets him, and it's 10-5. Tucker Johnson by 5 as we go to the third period. We'll go to the third. The choice will be from the feet.
Wadeson wants to go neutral. He's probably going to try a throw again.
He's looking for a 5-point move. The question will be, is he going to try to set it up himself or wait for a shot attempt from Johnson? Now, if I were Johnson, I'd almost wrestle defensive here. Make Wadeson make the first move. Shot attempt into a double. A sprawl attempt by Johnson. Johnson trying to catch a leg on the way through. Turned, stayed on top of that leg.
Yep.
It's a heck of a counter by Tucker Johnson. No points awarded yet. Now Johnson trying to get the inside position. He's between the legs on a double, picking an ankle. Wadeson trying to cling to the body in a move that I've never seen before.
He's reaching for the head. Look at this.
He's for the head. He got it by the head, and a leg picked on the backside as well. There's the takedown, and Wadeson's back exposed.
He didn't get there quick enough. I think he was pinned.
It's a reverse headlock with Johnson reaching back at a leg and is now torquing the leg to get the shoulders down as Wadeson can do nothing but bridge. There's no arm in this, but it's not 2 arms connected. Now the back is exposed. Johnson lifts the head, looking for the ball. There it is. And at 5:06, Tucker Johnson gets a ball for Valley City.
I bet you that's one of those that Coach Larson needed.
Cuts the bout to 33-17 in favor of West Fargo on the LaRue-Laco Financial scoreboard. But Tucker Johnson fighting off a heck of a challenge as we go to 138 pounds. And we're going to see a change for Valley City. Coy Griebel's not going out there. Hunter Undum is going to come into the lineup tonight for Valley City at 138. Aaron Sean at 138 for West Fargo Cheyenne.
Tron.
Aaron Tron. There you go, Aaron Tron. So Aaron Tron and Hunter Undum. So we've seen both teams moving up and down tonight. Now they'll both go to their bench at 138 pounds. And we'll see how this goes. Brought to you commercial free tonight by Central Avenue Health Mart Pharmacy, by Mobility Plus Rehabilitation, and by Professional Eye Care Centers. So this is the 138-pound bout. 9 of these wrestlers in the varsity lineup for tonight. The Highlanders trying to hold Coy Griebel, if they can hold him, to go a little bit further up in the weight classes. And they're looking for a win here from Hunter Undum. This is clearly a toss-up match now between 2 wrestlers that weren't in the lineup. And if the Highlanders can win it, they would feel like there's a chance for themselves to score the next 9 points and keep themselves alive in the duel with Cheyenne.
Well, that's going to make a big difference here with 17:33 on the team points.
1 minute to go of the opening period. Neither wrestler really trying a shot as of yet. Undum staying out on the collar. And a little shove of Tron trying to set something up. Tron has been basically defensive. Now Tron will set a collar and elbow. Shot attempt outside single leg. Trying to hold on to a double. There's a takedown for Hunter Undum. Great outside single collapsing into a double. And he takes Tron down. Tron trying to escape off the mat. Pulls him back in. Trying to hook up the ankle. Reaches across the body for the cradle. Head's a little low here. But is able to break Tron down. And now with 28 seconds to go of the period, we'll see what Undum does as he tries to break Tron down. He's got him broken down. Double arm bars thrown in. 20 seconds. Tries to work on the head, keeping an arm bar on the right side. Down to 10 seconds left of the period. Undum stays active right across the shoulder blades, head in there. Bar arm thrown down, 5 seconds. Tron collapsed, and the official talking, saying you've got to move. Down to 2, down to 1. That'll be the end of the opening period. We'll go to the second, and it's 2-0 in favor of Hunter Undum.
Yeah, Hunter defers, and Hunter's a strong little 8th grader. I shouldn't say little. He's not a little 8th grader.
He didn't look little to me.
No.
I would turn and walk the other way is all I'm trying to say. Tron picks top and will work from the left-hand side. Undum from bottom to start the second period. 2-0 in favor of Hunter Undum on the opening takedown. That was a clasp, and it was caught. The official saw it right away. Clasping penalty will be called against Tron. So a penalty point goes to Hunter Undum. You cannot lock the hands without another limb of the body in a pinning combination while the other wrestler is down in his base. That is illegal.
Unless we're wrestling freestyle, which we are not.
Yep, this is folk style, and now Tron will surrender the escape. That'll make it 4-0. And you can see from that, Kirk, Tron, you can tell now, probably a little inexperienced here. He went right to the clasp in that situation. Normally, if you're called for a clasp, it's a mistake. He went right to it.
Yep.
So maybe a little experience factor working in favor of Hunter Undum here.
And then looking at this, he's not doing a setup. He's just grabbing onto the head and arm. He's probably going to hit with a stall here.
Kind of holding on, and he's already been talked to about a stall at this point, but Undum hasn't been extremely active going after takedowns tonight either. Down to 1:05 to go, second period. Undum steps away. The wrestlers will break contact.
You know, this is where I'm a firm believer in the junior high level that you teach ankle picks.
Oh, sure.
And setups, because they all want to tie up. They all want to underhook. Just learn how to pick an ankle. It's a skill that is going to serve you well when you get older.
You know, the simple stuff tends to work. If you end up watching some of the college duels like the Big Ten championships, the national championships.
They pick ankles like no one's business.
It is there.
And it's so quick.
It's the move du jour. Yep, ankle picks are the thing. And setups out of high crotches. And I mean, that's really all you got to know. Ankle picks and high crotches will win you national championships that level.
Yep.
Here, there's all sorts of things that you work on, but they really narrow it down. Down to 20 seconds, still 4-0. Not a lot of activity throughout this second period so far. Undum again reaching at a leg. Tron continues to back up. And I would see Tron. I would hit Tron with a stalling in this case. He is backing away. Neither wrestler really active, though, as far as looking for a takedown, but Tron has not looked for anything at all. Down to 2, down to 1. End of the second period, we'll go to the third. It'll be Undum's choice. Would expect down here. And Coach Larson says, in fact, that is the case. Pick down. So Undum will pick down. Tron waits. And he will ride from the left-hand side, and we're underway with the third period. So now Undum looking to score. Up by a score of 4-0. Granby roll, beautifully done. That's an explosive Granby roll.
Yeah, it was.
5-0, and it looked like Undum knew exactly what he was doing there. Tron goes hard on a collar and elbow. Undum's able to meet him in the middle of the mat. Shot attempt by Undum, outside single again. Tron trying to sprawl. Undum stays with it. Tron pulled him down, backed away, was able to get out of that one. Undum went at the outside single, converted nicely into a double for the first takedown of the match. That time, Tron had enough leverage to get back, but again, completely inactive. Very surprised there hasn't been a caution for stalling here against Aaron Tron.
Yeah.
Undum reaching. I think all Undum would have to do is go down to the mat again, and he'd be able to get a stall caution against Tron. That might make Tron move a little bit. 1:05 left of the period. 5-0 in favor of Hunter Undum.
Yeah, Hunter needs to be a little aggressive here and going for a shot.
Little duck under it, an outside single. This time it's Undum that was able to stall out Tron. He picks the outside leg, and he's got a takedown. It makes it 7-0. Now can Undum score again to get the major decision?
I was thinking he should have kept that and went right to a cradle.
Let's see if Aaron Larson has him let go. It's 7-0 with 40 seconds left in the third period. Right now it's 3 team points for Valley City. If they could get an 8-point lead or better in the matchup, they would pick up a 4th team point.
He's just holding on to his hands underneath there. There's a stall.
There's a crossface, stalling, caution here. Into a cradle. Undum had it locked up. Down to 20 seconds.
Did he get it? Did he have it locked up?
He had it, then lost it. Now he's trying to get back to it and could not lock it up. But Tron looked away. Tron still down, though, and he was hit for caution for stalling. If he gives up another, it's a major decision, and Tron is not moving.
No.
The official says on top, 5 seconds. And Tron's getting out of here, giving up just the decision to Hunter Undum. But Undum comes in off the bench and wins 7-0 tonight, and will push the deficit to 13. It's now 33-20. Valley City back within 13 points. So a 7-0 decision. And I believe we're going to see Coy Griebel come out onto the mat now for Valley City at 145.
All right, so we're going to have Marcus Johnson going here.
Marcus Johnson and Coy Griebel.
Marcus Johnson ranked 3rd. Oh, no, excuse me, 6th at 138.
So Marcus Johnson ranks 6th at 138, wrestling 145 tonight. Coy Griebel stepping in and also moving up to 145 tonight. And if Coy Griebel could work a pin here, Valley City's back within a little, well, just outside of a bout. Griebel collar and elbow, looking away from that Johnson. They meet on the upper arms and a quick shot and a fireman's carry. Griebel trying to keep his feet on the mat, but he realized he didn't have the angle. They're going to go back to the middle and reset. Bout brought to you commercial free this evening by Highline Electric, by Jamestown Regional Medical Center, and by Sanford Health, Valley City. Coy Griebel working on the head, shot attempt by Marcus Johnson, and Griebel again outside single. He's got it in deep. Lost it though as Johnson was able to bridge out of it. Little whizzer in there as well. Griebel just going brute force and came up on the crotch there to hold the angle. Now hooks up on the leg and tries to pick the far leg, and he's got the 2-point takedown. So a takedown for Griebel. They'll move off the map. They'll go back to the middle and reset. 2-0. Coy Griebel takes the opening lead in the matchup. So Griebel will ride for the left-hand side as they reset with 1:05 left to go here in the second period. Johnson down to a hip as Griebel tries to break him down with a deep waist. Johnson back to the base. Griebel throws a leg in, but it's down around the ankle. We'll see what he does with it as Johnson tries to get back up to his base. Griebel a trip, comes right up to the head. Has Johnson broken down, immediately starts working chicken wing. Now going to work on the head.
You can see Johnson being very defensive on Griebel with the tilt. He knows he's very good at it, so he's defending that right from the get-go.
Griebel's a very good tilter. He's got the deep waist in. He's looking for it.
Yeah, he is.
The only problem is the more time you spend down there playing defense, the less time you really get to play offense, right?
Correct, and you get tired also doing that.
Right. And that's another one of the reasons you brought this up before, Kirk, is the time to go the riding time route in high school wrestling. And a wrestler like Coy Griebel would benefit from that when he's wrestling another good wrestler.
Yep.
That can be good defensively. Up to his base, Johnson, back down to his hips, down to 5 seconds. And that's going to be the end of the opening period in this one, with Coy Griebel leading by a score of 2-0. The opening takedown.
Yeah, I think that riding time, it's, you know, they do it in college, that's because everyone's so good. I mean, good matches would be fun to see, but bad matches it would not.
Right. Well, in bad matches, it probably wouldn't be a factor.
Correct, yeah.
And now I believe there's some question as to whose choice it is after all here. Griebel had chosen down. I'm not sure if they said it was West Fargo's choice and to defer, or if Griebel just wants to go down and start the second period. Now we're going to have a caution for a false start against Griebel.
Yeah, we're at 1:45, so it should be our choice.
And Griebel gets going again as they get restarted from the middle up to his feet. Johnson trying to hip a leg, tried to throw a leg on. Griebel continues to move, leg up, but Griebel stopping and trying to counter with a whizzer, and now does get the escape. And now Marcus Johnson tried to throw him. Griebel caught him with a whizzer. Johnson reaches over with the legs, and Coy Griebel went into a roll, and he somehow caught Marcus Johnson on a roll through the upper body. He's got a reverse chicken wing in. He continues to lock it up. There will be 2 points of near fall as Johnson was able to work back to his base, but that's just some creativity that you don't see out of a lot of kids. Coy Griebel felt an advantage and took it.
That's a scramble. That's a collegiate scramble there, because I thought Johnson was going to have Griebel there for a takedown, and just wow.
But Griebel was able to keep his base. He knows his center of balance or center of gravity.
Knows where he's at.
Absolutely. Goes to work on the arms again. Again, Johnson defensive. Griebel now coming out in a bull drive. And we saw his younger brother try this earlier in the bout tonight, and when you can work it, it's a very devastating combination. If you can extend that arm, he got it semi-extended, and now Johnson has been cautioned for stalling. 7-0 Griebel here in the second period of our 145-pound bout. Griebel up, going to work on the chin, locks a leg, and continues to work, looking for a turn of some sort. And poor Marcus Johnson is saying, really, you cautioned me for stalling? Do you see who's actually riding me out right now?
Exactly.
What the heck would you do? Tell you what, I'll switch spots with you for a while. You see if you can get out.
You know, I heard the rumor why the Griebel brothers are so good that their parents make them do takedowns for a grape.
For a grape? Sounds like something York would do. Nicky would make him do takedowns for a grape and not give him the grape when they were done. There's a tilt roll for Coy Griebel. Couple of points of near fall there for Coy. He was able to work that 2-on-1 tilt. 9-0 in favor of Griebel now with 5 seconds left of the second period. So we'll go to the third. And Griebel really hasn't been given a lot to work with, and he's taken advantage of everything that he's had so far tonight.
Major decision, 9-0.
Poncho got a little ahead of us. We're going to the third period here. He was just announcing the end of the match, but we've got one more. And the thing is, though, don't fault him. Coy Griebel wrestles enough in 2 periods to where you think it was 3 periods in, right?
Exactly.
Griebel with a high crotch single leg shot. He's been caught in a deep sprawl by Marcus Johnson. And right now, Griebel has just locked his wrist.
Johnson has his arm in there, too.
Yep. We'll reset from the feet. Something that we saw Colton do as well. They know that when they're in trouble, if they hold on long enough, they've got a shot at that stalemate, and they'll get a reset for it. Shot attempt by Johnson outside single, easy counter by Coy. He's got the takedown. It's 11-0. A quick roll through, sort of semi-Granby roll that time by Johnson. Griebel caught him on the way through and breaks him down. 11-0, Coy Griebel at 145 pounds. 1:15 left of the third period. Highlanders looking to win out if they can in their EDC schedule in order to try to make the state duels. Very tall opposition that they're up against. West Fargo's a good tomorrow night, and so far Cheyenne hasn't been beaten this year. There's that 2-on-1 tilt again. A roll through, but there's 2 more points in near fall, so 13-0. And if Griebel works one more near fall, this will come to an end of the technical fall, and he's going right after it. Griebel takes a look at the clock. 45 seconds left to work with. Working a little cross face here. And Johnson able to muscle out of that. Johnson's been cautioned once already. And it's complete. There's another one. This will be a point.
Yep.
So now Griebel takes a 14-0 lead as the second caution for stalling has gone against Marcus Johnson.
I absolutely hate that stall call when you're wrestling a ranked wrestler and he's beating the tar out of you.
You got to try to move somehow, I guess.
I know, exactly. But you don't dare move either because he's going to put you on your back.
That's exactly right. Griebel loaded up for that tilt roll, couldn't get it, down to 10 seconds.
He's going to go for it here.
Got one more shot to try to get it here, and Johnson's off the mat and completely broken down again. Down to 3, down to 2, down to 1, and 14-0. It'll be a major decision for Coy Griebel tonight at 145 pounds. 4 points for Valley City, and it will now be a 33-24 lead for West Fargo Cheyenne on the LaRue Laco Financial Scoreboard as we go to 152.
Okay, it sounds like there's some special presentation for Coy.
All right, we're going to see a special presentation for Coy.
Is being presented an award for second most varsity wins in Valley City High School.
Wow, second most varsity wins in Highliner history tonight for Coy Griebel. That's his second most wins of a Highliner wrestler's career. I wonder who he's chasing.
That would be Brandon Larson.
Brandon Larson, okay, sure.
Yeah.
And he's got a handful of meets left to try to chase Brandon Larson's record. And obviously, Brandon Larson, a devastating wrestler.
I think we were talking about that. I don't think he can get it. That's how he's out by far.
Well, if you finish second to Brandon Larson,
I mean, exactly.
You know, there's only one thing better than that, and that's finishing 52nd right behind Ryan Cunningham on the all-time takedowns record in a career. See, he has way more, so there's that. They're still announcing the career accolades for Coy Griebel. So Coy Griebel becomes the second winningest wrestler in Highliner history. gets a standing ovation from the Highlander faithful that are here tonight. And his
That
win
is quite impressive.
has brought this down to a 9-point wrestling duel, 33-24, as we go to 152. Now, the Highlanders were scheduled to send out Alex Roggelstead, and Carter Zink is supposed to go out for West Fargo Cheyenne, but nothing has stayed consistent in the lineup tonight. So we'll see.
Yeah, we are at 152, so that would be their...
The Highlanders have to win out.
Oh, are we presenting first?
Yeah, Espen Kunze will go out from 145 to 152 tonight. And Carter Zink will wrestle 152. So Espen Kunze versus Carter Zink. Cheyenne wins the duel with a victory that is beyond a regular decision. If they score a major decision or more, they would win the duel tonight and finish their duel season undefeated. So right now, Espen Kunze has to win for Valley City to stay alive, or at least not give up anything more than the regular decision. And we get things started tonight in this weight class at 152, brought to you commercial free this evening by CHI Mercy Health Valley City, by Brothers 3, and by Valley Meat Supply. So far, a rather inactive match. Collar and elbow out in the middle of the mat. Kunze looking for an opportunity against Zink,
AKA Cuba Crusher.
That's right. This is the Cuba Crusher, the Kunzes from Cuba, North Dakota. A rail stop on the way down the line to Lisbon or whatever it is. I'm sorry. You know, actually, it's Suburban Peak is what it is. When you got tired of living downtown Peak, you moved out to the suburbs in Cuba and commuted to work. A quick takedown on the legs for Carter Zink. They'll move off the mat. You know, I'm noticing you've got names like Zink and Carr. Those are typically Carrington names. Mm-hmm. You wonder if there's some family relation, because those are pretty good wrestlers up in Carrington, too. Up to the feet comes Kunze, trying to find an escape after being taken down in the first stanza of the matchup. Zink with the lift. Can't get Kunze back to the mat. Tries again. This time brings him down physically and tries to collapse on an arm, looking for a bull drive right away. Kunze was able to hold that right elbow in tight to the body, but Zink continues to work towards it and comes underneath now, looking for something under the body. Down to 30 seconds left of the opening period. 2-0 with Zink on top of Kunze in our 152-pound bout. Kunze broken down, a little defensive. Zink has an arm barred up 2-on-1 underneath the body, trying to keep Kunze from scooting off the mat. Comes back to a chicken wing on the left-hand side. Underneath the legs, 15 seconds left of the period. And Zink still trying to pull Kunze back in. Now goes crossface as Kunze tries again for the boundary. Down to 3, down to 2, and that will be the end of the first period. Espen Kunze giving up that opening takedown will go into the second trailing by a score of 2-0. Well, the question mark now is who will finish the duel. Valley City moved Ryer Muskie up from 160 to 182. And that's the last wrestler supposed to go on the mat tonight.
I'm thinking they'll bring Tyson Hovland down.
Yeah, Hovland could go, and then who finishes at that point? Up to the feet comes Kunze on a stand-up, and into a quick fireman's carry goes Carter Zink, trying to finish this one off for another takedown. He caught Kunze a little bit in a reverse half, but Kunze able to look away from it, and the takedown is finished for Carter Zink to make it 4. They have it 5-0 on the board. I believe it should be 4-1. As Kunze was given an escape, I believe. Down to 1:30 to wrestle in the second period. Chicken wing on deep here from Zink. He's got a chicken wing half. Kunze trying to look away from the half. Zink jumps sides, tries to finish the chicken wing, and got an angle around the head momentarily. Kunze felt it, was able to spin back to his base. And Zink again trying for that walk around the head trip out of that chicken wing.
Yep.
Kunze continues to wrestle defensive. Arm getting a little leverage now all of a sudden. May have gotten the bar arm underneath here, did Zink.
I can't believe he hasn't stopped that yet.
And Kunze gets turned. Kunze on the mat. It was close to potentially dangerous, but Kunze is turned as Zink was able to work chicken wing bar arm. He keeps the bar underneath the body, continuing to apply some leverage. He wants the fall, trying to extend the inside arm. The outside arm is extended by the chicken wing. Kunze's been able to stay away from the pinning combination. He's given up the near fall. Now Kunze trying to leverage through. That exposed his back momentarily. Turns his hips away from Zink again. Zink continues to sag. 20 seconds left of the period.
I don't think he'll be able to get his shoulder down. It's still
Yeah,
up.
the angle just isn't quite there for Zink, and Kunze's body a little too long for this. Kunze nearly rolling through the combination. He's back to his base as Zink will bail out of it, but a three-point near fall.
Yep.
And I believe the score is 7-1. I don't believe it's 8-0. I believe the score should be 7-1 as we go to the third period. Kunze had an escape in that period, but they've got it 8-0 on the scoreboard right now, and that matters as to whether or not this is a major decision or a regular decision. I don't think anybody's noticed as of yet. A quick shot attempt by Zink, a little bluff. He got Kunze to sprawl. Another shot attempt, got Kunze to sprawl again. Now steps up and pulls on head. And they go to work on the far boundary. A quick shot attempt by Kunze. Zink was able to counter that into a fireman's carry of his own. Now Kunze reaching into the legs. Down to 120 to wrestle here in the third period. And Zink continuing to try to finish a fireman's carry look out of that high crotch. Kunze trying to counter, keeping some leverage up, but Zink comes out between the legs, finishes, and would now have a 9-1 lead in the bout. We haven't been able to get the attention of the scorers table to see if that score is correct. They have it 10-0 on the scoreboard right now. I thought Espen Kunze was given an escape in the second period.
No, I guess they say that he wasn't.
I don't know how he wasn't given an escape if the other wrestler got a takedown. I mean, there's no takedown to get if there wasn't an escape in the first place. And he clearly got a takedown. Zink was given a takedown, so.
Did he give him just a reversal instead?
No.
No, because he was down.
Yeah. 10-0 is what they have on the scoreboard right now, though, however. 30 seconds left of the third. So right now, major decision for West Fargo Cheyenne. And that would win the duel for the Mustangs. We've got potentially dangerous, and we'll go back to middle and set up with 22 seconds left. West Fargo Cheyenne just blew Grand Forks Central out, so you can tell that there are some matchups here that might have gone Valley City's way tonight. The fall for Tucker Johnson. That was a big one at 132 pounds.
He's got a little Granby going here.
Little side roll turn, Granby roll for Espen Kunze. He got a reversal. That cuts the lead to 8. Now an outside single leg shot coming back, though, on a counter for Zink.
I don't know if he gave a reversal or he gave one escape or... No, he's got green in charge. Yep.
Now the score is 11-2 for some reason. I'm not sure why. I don't think that score was correct at the end of the match. I really don't. But 11-2 is going to be the final to score. And Espen Kunze moving up to 152 is beaten by Carter Zink. 11-2. 36-24 your score. Rather 37-24, 13-point lead with 2 bouts left. So Cheyenne will finish the regular season undefeated as we go to 160. Marcus Johnson. Well,
Marcus or Mason?
Alex Rogelstead will wrestle at 160 pounds. Mason Johnson for West Fargo Cheyenne. So Mason Johnson for Cheyenne and Alex Rogelstead for Valley City at 160 pounds. As we begin to wind this one down, 2 bouts left to go. Bout brought to you tonight, commercial free, by Brothers 3, by Valley Meat Supply, and by LaRue Laco Financial. Stick around our post-game report. Our wrestler of the match is coming up here tonight, brought to you by Ivy Real Estate Group. So at 160, Cheyenne has sewn up the duel. We'll see how close the Highlanders can keep it. Shot attempt down to a knee was looking for Mason Johnson. Alex Rogelstead, the scheduled starter. Second time tonight that Cheyenne has gone to their bench. And a quick reverse headlock throw by Mason Johnson trying to counter off a double leg. They're off the mat and go back to the middle to reset. Worth mentioning, Kirk, that in talking with the head coach of the Highlanders, Aaron Larson, before the match tonight, he said that they have a much better chance of beating West Fargo tomorrow due to the matchups. He felt like the matchups
worked better for him.
However, they didn't feel like they had a chance to beat West Fargo by so many points that they would win a 3-way tiebreaker with Grand Forks Central.
No.
And so in the long run with this one tonight, we kind of know that the 4 teams going to the state tournament for the duels will be West Fargo Cheyenne, Fargo Davies, and Grand Forks Central. And the Highlanders going to try to qualify as many individuals as they can in the East Region Tournament coming up this weekend. Shot attempt here into a front headlock combination for Alex Rogelstad, trying to finish an opportunity on Mason Johnson for the Mustangs. Mason Johnson trying to keep some control of Rogelstad's head as both wrestlers are on the mat. Turns into Rogelstad with an outside single. Johnson trying to counter that. We're down to 10 seconds left to go of the period.
Just hold on to that. Oh, he let go of the leg.
Johnson trying to finish, however. Rogelstad continues to pin down the leg. Yep. Johnson trying to finish with a chicken wing or a power half.
Yeah, some type of power half.
Yeah, he had it finished, but time will run out, and no scoring on the exchange will leave it no score as we go to the second period on the LaRue Laco Financial scoreboard. Choice to Mason Johnson, he'll defer. Alex Rogelstad is told by Aaron Larson to defer. And Alex says, I can't defer, he deferred. So then Aaron Larson shrugged his shoulders and said, okay, go down. Yeah. And so that's what we'll do here to start the second period. Alex Rogelstad will start from the bottom position. That was an interesting exchange. Defer, I can't defer.
They almost should use the direction arrow for whose choice it is.
Sure, like the jump ball?
Yeah.
Yeah, like the held ball arrow. Anything that you can do, or put a green light up or something like that, you know? It's kind of the second time tonight we've had that come up where we didn't really know, right?
Yep.
Rogelstad broken down, trying to work back to his base. Chicken wing for Mason Johnson under the body one. He's looking for Griebel turn, which would be that 2-on-1 tilt, which the Griebels work to maximum efficiency. We see both of them do it. Rogelstad looking out of it right now. Chances are Rogelstad's natural weight, he's been on the backside of Coy Griebel working that move in the practice room.
He's felt pressure a few times.
Knows exactly how to look out of it. Now into a chicken wing half Nelson, and Mason Johnson just continues to run around the head. But in the end, Rogelstad was able to power his way out of it. No score halfway through the second period in our 160-pound bout. Now the chicken wing stays on for Mason Johnson. He's practicing, though, opposite side of the body on that chicken wing. Now jumps back to the true side out of the chicken wing bar arm. Bar arm is lost. Rogelstad continues to sit on a hip, but he's in trouble and he got turned out of that chicken wing bar arm, and Rogelstad's in some trouble on the far side of the mat. Rogelstad turned, Mason Johnson coming off the bench, and he's got Alex Rogelstad in some trouble. Now Rogelstad able to roll off of his back, tries to jump back, keeping the hips high, but boy, Mason Johnson was able to step back and counter and maintains a 5-0 lead, or rather a 3-0 lead as he gets the first points of the match on a 3-point near fall. Boy, how good is Mason Johnson to come in off the bench for Cheyenne and look this talented tonight. Take a look at their lineup, and Marcus Johnson, Carter Sawyer Carr, 45, 52, and 60. It might just be hard to crack the lineup.
They do say that Mason Johnson's ranked third at 152.
But they didn't even have him in the lineup tonight.
I know. I don't know why they wouldn't.
They had Carter Zink listed as their 152-pounder tonight, even though Mason Johnson's ranked third. So, I mean, that changes this. Why you go to the third-ranked wrestler off your bench?
Mm-hmm.
This has been an interesting duel, to say the least, Kurt. There may be a lot of protecting some seeds for the upcoming EDC tournament. There may be some of that going on tonight.
Or maybe Carter beat him out in wrestle-offs.
The third-ranked wrestler in North Dakota? Okay. One of them is going to end up unattached in that weight class. Then when the state tournament comes around. Minute 30 seconds left of the third. Mason Johnson with a 3-0 lead with that near fall in the second period, and that is all the scoring in this one so far. Rogelstad collapsing on Johnson's leg, and we're going to go back to the middle and reset with the clock down to 1:16 to go with the third. So one bout left. It'll be at 160. And the Highlanders look to find somebody to go out there. Ryer Muskie moved up to 182 earlier. Sawyer Carr is waiting. He's ranked third in that weight class at 160 pounds for Cheyenne. Quick sit-down turn for Rogelstad. Mason Johnson able to turn with him. Clock down to 105 left of the third. Johnson throws a leg in on the left-hand side. He's trying to double it up now. He's got both legs thrown in.
He's on a head hunt.
Yep.
That's a good thing to do.
Reaching out for the head was Alex Rogelstad, but now the body being straightened out of that double leg ride. Mason Johnson going to work on a power half Nelson out of it now. You know, we've seen the chicken wing worked well tonight by Cheyenne. Some fireman's carry technique that they've used. That seems to be the thing that stands out, right,
Yeah,
Kirk?
absolutely.
The way they've executed the fireman's carry has been something.
And, you know, and that is one thing that the Highlanders don't do. They don't throw the legs in and work off the legs.
Sure.
Very few and far between do you do that. I see West Fargo, Cheyenne using that, but they don't know what to do from there, really.
Right.
I mean, they just go to that power half and that's it.
Roggelstead able to break away out of a stand-up and makes it a 3-1 matchup, so he's back in this with 12 seconds to go. Here's a throw attempt by Mason Johnson. Roggelstead tries to turn him, and he got caught. He got caught in a reverse headlock, and there's a fall. Roggelstead loaded up. The duel was over already, so Roggelstead just took his shot at trying to come up with a turn late out of the throw. And at 5:46 of the third period, we'll see the win for Mason Johnson at 160. 5 minutes and 46 seconds, and that'll push it to 43-24. And Tyson Hovland will go out against Sawyer Carr. So Hovland will move down from 170 to 160. Sawyer Carr goes out at 160. Final duel tonight, match tonight rather, brought to you commercial free by Grotberg Electric. And also tonight by Sanford Health, Valley City, and Central Avenue Health Mart Pharmacy. Quick counter and turn for Sawyer Carr, and he'll take a 2-0 lead on Tyson Hovland. Again, Sawyer Carr ranked third in this weight class, or actually at 160. They move up to 170 tonight. So Sawyer Carr leading by a score of 2-0. The Mustangs will finish a perfect 9-0 in EDC dual competition. Highlanders took a good run at them tonight. This thing was a 9-point match late in the duel. Just not quite enough firepower. And again, you come back to, you know, that 145, 152-pound weight class. That's where Ethan Miller fits into the mix, right?
Yeah, it does, but, I mean, nothing we can do about that.
Right. Now, talking earlier tonight with Aaron Larson, he said that Ethan Miller's had a successful surgery on the knee.
Yep.
And they expect him to play baseball this summer. They think he's going to be out there. And that's a lot quicker than we thought.
Yeah.
Quick stand up and do a quick turn, and there's a nice little reversal. Nicely done for Tyson Hovland. Stands up, got into a reversal, and he's got a deep crossface in on Sawyer Carr with clock on 50 seconds left of the period. Carr trying to peel off that hand. He's gotten a little defensive. He's been able to peel out of the crossface, and now Carr stands up, but Hovland will break him back down, and Tyson Hovland finding some confidence here after giving up that opening takedown. Hovland's gone to work. Hovland working a bar arm, works out on the other side now for doubles. Carr able to break away from that and just trying to position his hands away from where Tyson Hovland could get to him. Hovland into a 2-on-1. Carr will come out in a short sit, goes to work on the peel, up to his feet, turns, and has the escape. So we see the short sit there, Kirk.
Yep.
It's another one hearkening to the 1990s that we've seen tonight, huh? Working out a short sit. If you're comfortable there, it really gives you some options from bump. 3-2 your score. Oh, attempt, huge headlock throw. Time runs out before Hovland can finish it. Boy, oh boy, that will send a shockwave through Sawyer Carr. His legs came 360 through the air, and Carr was in a bit of trouble for just a moment before the buzzer sounds, and we'll go to the second period.
I think Carr thought he could horse him over, and you're not going to horse Hovland over.
Second period begins. Carr into a sit out and turn, now trying to work side roll out of it. Instead goes back to a counter and gets the stand up. So there's a sit out and turn. If you're a nostalgic kind of guy, this has been your night tonight. The sit out turn in, trying to get a guy high, look for the side roll and then just bail out. I mean, that's stuff they go back in the playbook for. But the reason why it worked is because it works. They're off the mat as Carr picked up the escape to make it 4-2 Carr here in the second.
Go Tyson, be aggressive.
1:38 left of the second period. Bluff shot attempt there by Hovland. Carr down to a knee. Now Hovland back up to his feet. And they meet Colombo in the middle of the mat. Carr continues to work on that little tie-up in the middle of the mat.
I don't think Carr likes a tie-up.
I don't think so either. Shot attempt by Hovland on a single leg. Carr trying to counter. Now they're both on each other's legs, and potentially dangerous is going to be the signal. And we'll go back to the middle and set up from the feed. Both wrestlers giving us a little firework right now, though. Shot attempt by Carr, batting the head for the setup. Hovland counters him on the arms and moves back towards the Highlander bench on our right as we take a look at it tonight. Here's a hip attempt by Carr, and now into a fireman's carry, and Hovland sat away from that. Quick sit through that time on the arm drag for Carr, and they meet each other again in the middle. And these guys, this is just resume material right now.
Absolutely.
They're on the outer rim at this point, and the official watching it closely, but we've seen singles, we've seen whizzers, we've seen a couple of hip throws, sit out, turn in. We've seen the side roll, the arm drag, the sit through, the quick turn. There's a counter takedown try, but they're off the mat before it can be finished. We'll go back to the middle and reset with a 4-2 lead.
Yeah,
for
nice setups for both of them. Going from one to another.
Absolutely. And all of it from the feet at this point as well. You know, you see when you watch Coy Griebel do it, he does it from top so well, right? He can just go after it, but when you see a couple of wrestlers from the feet do it, where they go from one thing to the next, it's just an art form.
Yeah.
And wrestling at that level.
That's really what's big now, and is the scrambling.
Ooh, there's a low single on the ankle. And Carr's in a little bit of trouble. He's going to collapse on a leg of his own. Hovland ducks out from underneath. Valley City thinks they've got a takedown here. Carr trying to hold it. The official says no control as of yet. Time runs down the period, and I have to agree with the official. I don't think there was control there.
Nope.
It was close. You give him another 20 seconds, he's probably going to get it.
Yeah, I thought Tyson was going to try to put him on his back from there, scoot into him and put him right to his back while he's holding on to his leg.
So we go to the third. 4-2, Hovland down by 2. Again, the duel has been completed. West Fargo Cheyenne will win that tonight. They lead 43-24, but this is as close as really a lot of teams have been to West Fargo Cheyenne in the course of the season. Hovland broken down. Carr goes to work from top. Chicken wing. Bar arm. Has Hovland in the chicken bar now, but Hovland able to muscle that right arm out of that bar situation. Hovland maintains the chicken wing lock on the back, jumps across the body, and Hovland back to his base, and Carr will have to retreat with him. That's one thing we've seen Cheyenne do a lot of tonight. Work chicken wing across the body. Use that for leverage rather than the turn.
Yep.
See if you can give yourself another option. Hovland up to his feet, trying to peel hands on the escape. Hovland goes to a hip to try to hang on, and very alertly, Hovland was able to pick a leg on Carr. Carr's in some trouble reaching out of the leg. Hovland's got the top spot right now, but Carr able to maintain control of a leg, and we're going to see that deal. There's a reversal for Tyson Hovland, and hey, folks, that ties the match here in the third. 53 seconds to go. It's a 4-4 tie. The number 3 ranked wrestler in the state, Sawyer Carr, at 160, up against Tyson Hovland at 170 pounds tonight. And Hovland's tied it up at 4 apiece.
And Tyson can ride this out.
A little deep waist thrown on, 2-on-1 combination, loaded up, tried to roll it through in the tilt, didn't work. Down to 25 seconds left. Next points win here, and up to his feet comes Carr, but they're off the mat before Carr can break away. Carr lobbies for an escape, unsuccessful in the lobbying effort.
As he has both of his legs tied up with him. Give me one, please.
Absolutely, I do the same thing. 4-4, 20 seconds left. Carr from bottom, sit out turn. Caught Hovland high. Hovland trying to hold on across the body. Reversal. Right at the end, the sit out and turn in. We talked about those nostalgic moves. And Hovland throws an elbow. We're going to see a whistle, and that's going to be a penalty point against Hovland. He threw an elbow back at the face of Sawyer Carr, caught him in the nose, so it'll make it 7-4 on a violation against Hovland. Down to 2, down to 1. Granby roll by Hovland, and that's the way the match comes to an end. And Sawyer Carr will get the win at 170 pounds. By a full score of 7-4 tonight, and Cheyenne will win it by a final of 47-24 on the LaRue Laco Financial scoreboard, as the Highlanders will likely be knocked out of the state duels after dropping this one tonight. One more chance tomorrow night against West Fargo, but they'd have to win by a significant number of points in order to get that matchup tomorrow night. But some great matches here tonight. We'll come back and recap those and wrap up next. This is Highlander Wrestling on the Voice of the Highlanders and the Voice of the Valley, KOVC. final score in this one tonight is 47-24. Valley City is beaten this evening by West Fargo Cheyenne in one of the final duels of the year, the final duel of the year for the Cheyenne Mustangs, who will finish the regular season undefeated at 9-0. Valley City will drop their way down to 5-3. They've got one more chance tomorrow night against West Fargo, and the path into the state duels for the Highlanders looks like this. You've got to go to West Fargo and win by about 55 points or something. And that's just a really, really tall order. But,
yes.
you know, in order to be accurate and dispense the right information, the window is not completely closed.
You're
but
saying there's a chance.
the draft that's coming through the window is very, very small. But again, tonight, Valley City wrestling very well against West Fargo Cheyenne. I mean, this is a team that blew out Grand Forks Central, and the Highlanders found a couple of toss-up matches, or at least one toss-up match to go their way. Got a fall, maybe we weren't expecting one, and changed the complexion of this one a little bit tonight.
Yeah, you know, and I go back to the same thing as, you know, maybe we shouldn't start those duels that count so early in the season.
Yeah.
Just because kids get into their weight class and they're not moving around so much, but you know, they wrestled well. Could we have done better with teams earlier in the season? Yes, but that's the nature of the beast. I thought, I don't know if they could have done any better here. I mean, one or two matches here and there. Yeah, but I still think it's they wrestled well. West Fargo Cheyenne's a good team.
They're a very good team.
I mean, that's
there's a reason why they're 9-0.
Yes,
right?
exactly.
I mean, they beat West Fargo, they beat Davies, they beat Cheyenne.
Yes.
You know, they beat Grand Forks Central. 5 winners tonight for the Highlanders. Let's recap it. At 2:20, Broden Muskie wins by fall at 1 minute and 58 seconds, knocking off Caden Mansky at 2:20 tonight. The Highlanders pick up a win at 1:20. Colton Griebel with a technical fall at 5 minutes and 15 seconds over Landon Zink. The Highlanders get a win tonight at 1:32. Tucker Johnson wins by fall over Jetson Wadeson at 5 minutes and 16 seconds. Really aggressive night for Tucker Johnson. He had come back to take a 10-5 lead after falling behind early. He came on to win that one against a very awkward Jetson Wadeson, who tried to throw him several times from shot attempts from Tucker tonight. But the Highlanders get a win at 1:32. They get a win at 1:38. Coming in off the bench, Hunter Undum tonight. He defeats Aaron Tron by a final score of 7-0. And then Coy Griebel wins at 1:45 tonight, defeating Marcus Johnson, who's ranked 6th at 138 pounds. They put Johnson at 145. Coy Griebel up to 145, wins. In the process, Coy Griebel becomes the second winningest wrestler in Valley City Highlander history, behind Brandon Larson, who was a pretty strong kid on the wrestling mat in his own right. But Coy Griebel, second winningest wrestler in Highlander history tonight, and for that reason, he will be our Ivy Real Estate Group Wrestler of the Night tonight. He'll receive that award, compliments of Ivy Real Estate Group, your locally owned real estate brokerage in Valley City. So from here, Highlanders go to West Fargo. Again, they got to win by a significant number. So what's next after that? Well, as they announced tonight, EDC individual tournament up at Grand Forks Central. Qualify as many as you can. The week after that, it's Fargo Dome time. And then it's time to... then it's time to put some track shoes on, or some baseball cleats, or whatever you're going to go off to next. Or if you're Colton and Goy, you just hit wrestling on a different circuit, right? One way or the other.
Yeah, when you're saying baseball, let's get crazy here. We got a lot of snow out there still.
The Valley City State University softball team played games this past weekend in the Minot State Dome.
I know.
And as long as we're playing and there's water on the streets, not ice, Kirk, why don't you and I come together and say maybe we're going to get one of those March 29th, we put the ball in play and start calling balls and strikes.
Boy, Ryan Cunningham is being optimistic.
Hey,
I am in awe right now.
A handful of years ago.
Am I rubbing off on you? Is that what it is?
A handful of years ago, Kirk, I was in the shadows in Hillsboro, North Dakota, March 29th. Hatton Northwood was over to take on Hillsboro Central Valley, and it was 62 degrees for a daytime high on March 29th, and we put the ball in play, and we had a 10-week season for high school baseball. It has happened before.
Oh, okay? I know. It doesn't happen too often.
It doesn't happen very often. But how about you and Casey Ole get out there and start shoveling off the field just in case we get thawed a little faster.
Nope, that's okay. I'll watch the snow melt. I'm okay with that. Casey's like, no, I'll go out and shovel. Yeah, you go right ahead. I'll sit and watch.
Casey's out there gasolining it up and lighting it on fire.
Exactly.
He wants it out there now.
No, I still got, Karina with gymnastics. We got that going on still, and unfortunately, our EDC gymnastics is going to be here in Valley City next weekend during the state. So that's a bummer, but it is what it is.
Well, people sometimes lose track of the idea that the High School Activity Association wants this done in 5 weekends. So it's state wrestling kind of out there by itself, right? And then while state wrestling's going on, EDC hockey, EDC gymnastics is going on. The next week, it's state hockey, state gymnastics at the same time that you've got regionals for girls basketball at the Class B level going on. Then you got the Class B state at the same time. The Class A regionals are happening combined. And then you get the Class A state the same week and the Class B regionals for boys. And there you go, right? Also remember on
Wednesday, everyone wrote that down.
Yeah, well, by now we just know it. Also remember Wednesday, speaking of basketball, huge meeting in Valley City, 3 divisions. There could be a vote on that approves it. We'll see. There's obviously talk out there both directions. We'll see what happens there. Highlander wrestlers go to West Fargo tomorrow night. Highlander boys basketball teams at home with Fargo Davies. Girls go to Fargo Davies for an EDC 2-pointer. The Eagles will not come here this year. They tried twice. Weather killed it both times, and so I don't blame Rob Hunt for throwing up the white flag and saying, we'll just play it for 2 points over there. It's getting too late in the season.
Yeah.
So.
Nope, I don't blame them either.
Kirk, thanks for being here again. I appreciate it.
Very welcome. Enjoy it.
Kirk Olson joining us tonight for color commentary and analysis. I'm Ryan Cunningham. Your final score, West Fargo Cheyenne 47, Valley City 24. For KOVC Sports, I'm Ryan Cunningham saying